People, what is happening? Welcome to the drop. Ruben Dominguez, Quinn Bishop, Cactus Music. We have a list today. It is a mile long of new music.
The basket is full. The crate is full.
Yeah.
For record
the cradle
store day,
will rock.
The cradle will rock.
Sorry.
For record store day, drop 2.
Drop 2? Oh, let's do it, man.
Which is this Saturday, and let's roll right into it. This is probably the most anticipated surprise record store day release. Their previous record store day release is one of the high.
I haven't seen this yet. Yeah.
Highest. It fetches one of the highest prices. Totally rare. They haven't done it in a while. So there is a Foo Fighters. Look how glorious.
The DGs.
The DGs. Tribute to the Bee Gees. So one side is a Foo Fighters live session that's been unreleased, and then the other side is our Bee Gees covers, and 5 tracks. And I want you to look at these guys on the other side. They've gone full on 19. Moving in for the close up there.
That is
77.
That is Studio
77,
54.
Jack.
Yeah. Hail Satin.
I know. The title's great. People are going nuts on this thing. It was severely allocated, so
let me see this.
It's gonna sell out by now.
God, this is amazing. I love this.
Hail Satin.
Yeah, and no, I have absolutely no juice here. I can't get this ahead of time. I have to wait like everybody else because people are like, "Oh, I bet you can get anything you want." No, that can't really be on the plane. That's got to be Photoshop.
Yeah, that's some handiwork with the old computer box there.
Is the jet like time period correct? We'll have to find out. All right, never. Splitting hairs.
Continuity is everything.
I know, it's everything.
Next up, Amy Winehouse remixes by A-list people like Hot Chip, Ghostface Killah.
Oh man,
Cardinal. This is anticipated by fans. Oh, obviously, all her best-known tracks stretched out and remixed and elongated for dance floor or grooving or whatever. People love Amy. I love Amy.
Yeah,
I mean, gonna be
honestly, you could put out a collection of whatever her greeting was on her phone if she didn't pick up, and I would buy that.
Yeah,
God, everything's on here. So Hot Chip did Rehab. Yeah. That's killer. Man,
it's going to be a fun listen. I haven't heard this stuff just hit the store. I haven't heard it yet.
And a Rehab remix with Jay-Z on it.
I mean, you couldn't have just one version of Rehab.
No. Back to Black, Rumble Strips. That's amazing. Look at that. It's beautiful.
The photo is great, right? With her rocking
photo.
Out next to the dude. And I think she's wearing like Burberry gloves or something like that.
Yeah,
cool
she was a classic.
It's like she let her beehive down to.
She was a classic gal.
Yeah, no doubt.
So stylish. All right, fantastic.
Okay, we're going to get in the time machine and go backwards again. Ongoing series from the Warner Music Group. They do these picture discs of The Cure, and now they moved along to the final or second to last Electra record, which is Wild Mood Swings,
and
double picture disc.
25th anniversary? Yeah, somewhere around there. I think. 25th anniversary. There it is.
Oh, man. He got it.
Yeah.
You actually read the stuff I sent you.
Quinn sends me detailed notes.
I should read it.
Really cool. Yeah, right. You just, your assistant is gracious enough to send her, And,
my people talk to your people.
Another shout out to the incredible team that makes all of this happen.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Producers, the floor directors. All right, sorry.
And I know you love this, and this is another ongoing series for the Warner Music Group. Every record store, at least once a year, they put out an unreleased Ramones live album from the period. And this is, dude, you want to run down the hits on this?
Yeah, yes, for sure. For sure. From Blitzkrieg Bop, Rockaway Beach, everything. I Want to Be Sedated. Do you remember Rock and Roll? Radio. Man, Sheena's Punk Rocker. God, everything's on here, basically.
Yeah, these are live albums. When you hear them, you're so glad somebody had tape rolling.
Even Surfing Bird's on here, man. Come on. Yeah. God, that's a beauty.
That's good morning music.
Yeah.
Get you in the
If that doesn't get the blood going, you need to see a doctor. 23 tracks, man. And some reps. Yeah. Must for any Ramones fan.
Got another one to make you feel old. I believe it is the
I don't need an album to do that.
Pearl Jam. This is the first EP that they put out. Most of these tracks were only available in that big monster box set.
Right.
It's a reissue of the Alive EP, which was really started everything for them.
Yeah.
And so it's got the 4 or 5 bonus tracks that didn't appear on anything else. And check this out.
Yeah.
They did a cassette of it as well.
Of course they did.
Hear that? Remember that sound?
Yeah.
Rattling around in your car?
For sure. I still haven't found. I found a cassette. I told you the story about finding the cassette player. I told my wife I needed a cassette player. So she got me one of those combo little orbs that has the radio CD thing flips up, and then you pop out for the cassette. Every cassette I put in there though is like it. I'm like,
Houston, Texas is not kind to cassettes. So I will say that.
I don't know if it's my cassettes or that darn player, man.
All right, let's get to rocking. Let's get to rocking. And a Houston connection.
Houston!
Reissues of 2 later works that were never, ever on vinyl from King's X. Yeah. So everybody knows their Atlantic records really well. I will say that I think these later records where they kind of got to do what they wanted to do are fantastic. These are really, really strong records. And finally, on LP, and I'm sure they sound great. And they're numbered, hand-numbered, by the way.
This is crazy.
Some poor soul had to write on every one of those.
But man, I mean, you talk about a power rock songwriting duo, Ty Tabor and Doug Panic.
Yeah, what I liked is they use that drop D, that kind of low metal kind of sound like
first kind of,
but they made it melodic. Like they were the only band to do it. Really
and the harmonies were incredible.
Harmonies are incredible, and we're gonna keep rocking.
Okay.
Again, almost every record store today, there's one from this guy. Dio, you want to show him the horns?
Absolutely. Arguably the greatest metal vocalist of his generation. Unfortunately lost his battle with cancer. His wife has, I think it's the Ronnie James Dio Foundation. There's a big annual benefit and everything. But yeah, and it's Angry Machine. And so is this unreleased stuff? What is this?
I believe there's 2 alternate versions of songs, and then God Hates Heavy Metal.
God Hates Heavy Metal.
Apparently, I did not know this.
Sure.
We should have assumed as much.
Sure. First time on vinyl. Yeah. So if you've got a Dio fan in your life, I only saw him once. And that was the Heaven and Hell tour with Black Sabbath. I saw him twice. No, I take that back. I saw the first Dio tour.
I saw that.
So the first album,
Yeah, it was awesome. Was it Music Hall?
It was Music Hall.
Music Hall. It was Music Hall. Right.
That was just about, some good time music. That's all that was. All right, hang on a second. Let's see what's happening up here. Franco Valley's watching. He says, "What's up?" Hobby, of course. Kids love cassettes. Jen and V. Hey, Ruben. Hey, Quinn. We love you guys. So that's nice. Some people saying nice things. Alice, she's watching. Thank you for that. Rosa Martinez. Hello from Warren, Minnesota. Wow. How you doing, Minnesota? I hope it's less humid than it is here. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling.
Okay. We're going to take a country turn. And, one of the cool things that happens on Record Store Day is they find records that were shelved, that studio albums that never even came out. So Bobby Gentry, people know her as from Ode to Billy Joe. She actually had a tremendously artistically, flourishing career, with 5 records that were fantastic. And this is one that just didn't come out for whatever reason. Self-contained, great writer, great player, great singer. But, she's really just known.
Who did that originally? That wasn't her, right?
That's Billie Holiday.
That's Billie Holiday. Right. Okay,
God
so that's a good choice. My brain was not
Since
working.
I fell for you, some standards on there. But, cool, snatched back from oblivion. Right there.
Wow, man, that's cool. That's really
And she
cool.
does have some very low offense. She did a BBC recording a couple years ago, and it surprised everybody how popular it was.
Was she?
No, are you asking?
Is she alive?
Yeah, she's alive.
Wow.
Reclusive, remarkably reclusive.
Yeah, because you never hear anything. Her lost 1969 jazz album pressed. There you go.
So if you're a country artist and make a jazz record, you can get away with that now. You couldn't.
Yeah, no.
Another in the neighborhood Texas guy. This is Johnny Paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of viewers might be familiar with the big song.
Sure.
Take this job and shove. This is all of his early recordings when he was a tremendous influence on George Jones. with regards to singing style. And that is what this is. Never been available before, outside of singles, I believe.
This is cool stuff, man. Nice.
Now, I question whether to throw this one in the country pile or
Never
not.
think about it. Just get in there.
Because this is a duet with Karen O from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs and Willie Nelson.
I didn't even know this was being made.
Doing Under Pressure.
What?
Yeah. Don't know.
Just for the absolute freak factor of it.
Yeah. I think Willie will do anything if it sounds cool.
And the lyrics are there, so you can just, karaoke it to your heart's desire. Let's see. I want to see who's on and see. Oh, and Nick Zinner from Yeah Yeah Yeahs plays guitar. Let's see who else. There's a bunch of guitar players on here for basically one song. Interesting.
Easily one of the most interesting covers that you could not anticipate.
That's
coming
nuts.
off this record store.
Willie does not play guitar, just vocal.
Hey, he showed up to sing. That's all I needed to do. We're gonna
Don't get picky. Let's just go.
We're going with hip hop.
All right, let's go hip hop.
This KMD album, never originally on vinyl. The cassettes sell for like $30 to $40. This is the first recording by MF Doom. And
really?
And the band
okay.
fell apart. They made one record for Atlantic, and then the group kind of fell apart. But it's been a highly thought of record, respected record for years, and never repressed on vinyl. So people are going to be really looking for that.
This is pressed in the U.S. Who did this?
Get On Down, which reissued all the UGK records.
Okay.
So they know what's good, and they know what people are looking for.
Sure.
Remember when the 30th anniversaries were 20th anniversaries?
Yes, I remember the 10th anniversaries.
There you go. Yeah. And we got Sarbase loves to do these things where he packages new music with a comic book, and that's what this is. So comic fans, hip hop fans come together and celebrate a cool release from this guy.
That's nice. Yeah, I do love the art style.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful and well done. The printing is great.
Yeah, it's done very well. Play the record. Read the story.
Another Houston connection, and this is such a cool looking record. Denzel Curry, who's a super hot hip hop guy, and Robert Glasper here from Houston. And this is a live session, but look how cool this is. It is I'm guessing it's like etched on one side, right. So you had this image. It's a clear record with this white print on it. That is super cool.
Yeah.
But an unreleased session they did live at a benefit or something like that.
And don't worry, kids, 33 RPM, so you can play it in your standard.
You can
You
play it.
can do it.
Future's fourth record, finally. You see a lot of, on Record Store, you see a lot of debuts of music that was never previously available on vinyl. This is Future, who's red hot right now. People love him. And fourth album, first time on LP. And this one is cool. Translucent red and black smoke. Of course, vinyl.
Yeah.
Colored vinyl.
Smell the smoke.
I did this in the hip hop. It's not hip. It's not hip hop, but it is the Beastie Boys punk rock recordings. The Aglio Olio EP came out. They had a bifurcated career as hip hop and punk rock. Look at these young punk rockers.
And obviously that informed their hits throughout the years. Whether it was a guitar track or all three of them on something, just laying that groove down.
Just doing it.
Sonia Gonzalez is watching. Is Johnny Paycheck still alive? Yes, he's alive.
Oh no, I don't think he.
Oh, he's not.
He is not.
Okay, all right. See, I don't know.
Whoops.
For 200. Yeah. Megan Thompson, any upcoming music drops that you are most excited about, Quinn?
There is so much in this one. It is hard to think about.
We may not live through
coming.
this.
Yeah, it's
Quinn might pass out before this is up.
The next big one is obviously Billie Eilish. That's the one people are
you do love
over, and I want to hear that record.
Yeah.
I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I don't think this has ever been on vinyl before. It was a CD only release, CD cassette era. Now we get into music that this is the Run Out Groove series. We spoke about that last time.
Oh, Dr. John.
They take orders, and that's exactly the number they press. So this is one of Dr. John's best records, though there's not any hits on it, but it's one of his best records. Sun, Moon, and Herbs.
A studio album? Is this a
It's
live
a studio. It's a studio album, and what they did was they packaged all the music from the session across 3 LPs, expanded it, and that's what you get here. But again, we had to place orders for that. They manufacture it to order, and then it's gone once it hits stores.
50th anniversary.
50th anniversary.
TLP's previously unreleased. And this reminds me because I need some Dr. John.
You need some Dr. John, no doubt. Again, a lot of content that appeared on CD but never on vinyl. Miles Davis, look how cool this photo is of him in the ring. And he did this soundtrack to this Jack Johnson film. And actually, I love that. This is my favorite Miles recordings. And this is all extra stuff from that session.
There are very few uncool Miles recordings.
No doubt, right?
You know?
No doubt. And the Warner Music Group does this thing. They've done it for Fleetwood Mac, where they go through the studio outtakes and they take the tracks, the alternate tracks that were almost as good as the studio versions, but the band chose one instead of the other.
Right.
And they create an alternate version of the album. And this is kind of the big one.
Oof.
CSNY Deja Vu. Where the band worked tirelessly. There's a 4 CD box set of outtakes from this session. They assembled the best alternate tracks to resequence the record. So you have an alternate version of the album. It's very cool release.
I was watching an interview on YouTube with a music producer, and he was talking about I think the subject was like why your band sucks right now or whatever. And he made all these really good points, but he was like lyrics. He says, go listen to Crosby, Stills, Nash. Go listen to Ohio. Go listen to. It's like it was very much about the moment, what was happening politically, what was happening in the country, what was happening on college campuses, what was happening overseas in the war. And the guy, this producer, he goes, look around. Do you realize what's happening right now? Because I don't care what side of the coin you're on. It's like, and I don't hear that many people lyrically representing what's happening.
You can artistically document the time. And that's why, I tell you what, that's why the music of that era is so enduring, because it's when the world was changing.
Yep.
So we see live recordings that have previously been sitting in the can for decades.
Right.
This is one of the most anticipated record sorting pieces.
John
Prine, 4 LP set of him. It's called The Other End, but it's him recorded.
You need 2 hands to hold this one up.
Yeah, totally. Beautiful embossed covered, numbered collection, and that's one of the ones that will sell out on record store day for certain.
That's a bad boy.
And it's a limited edition of 12,500. I have actually heard some of this. It is great.
2 full sets, 39 songs, people.
And it's one of those records when you hear it for the first live albums, you hear it for the first time, you're like, where has this thing been?
Right. Why haven't I heard this?
And these are kind of of the same cloth here. This is released from the Allman Brothers Band. It's called The Final Note, and it is the last performance with Duane Allman before he passed.
Yeah. Holding a pretty famous Les Paul as well.
They did a really smart thing. They, had their own sound guy. They had a great traveling sound engineer that not only made sure they sounded great live, but recorded so many of their performances. And that's why we get great stuff like this.
So in case you're wondering, everything's on here you want to hear, right? Statesboro Blues, Trouble No More, Don't Keep Me Wondering, Done Somebody Wrong, One Way Out, In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, Hot Lantana, and Whipping Post.
Whipping Post.
Stormy Monday. Come on, man.
All right, we're keeping the epic live recordings rolling here. When people heard that this was scheduled for Record Store Day,
right,
people were talking about it like crazy. And of course, the film's coming out. This is Aretha Franklin live in Philly in 1972. The artist at the peak of her powers, well over an hour.
Right.
And the track selection is fantastic. And I mean, I think when this film opens, it's gonna be everything Aretha for until Christmas.
You'll sell out of everything. You're gonna sell out of everything.
Yeah, get ready. It's coming.
That's really, 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 really cool. Love it.
And it's not just heritage artists that are releasing records of unreleased live recordings. There's a Fleet Foxes 7-inch that is from, again, a session that is only on YouTube or on their site or something like that.
Yes.
It's the only way to own that physically.
For a second, I thought it was going to be King Gizzard.
So hold on. No, just kidding. There's
Not this week,
no,
fans.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, friends,
Maybe
I mean,
next week.
Yeah, maybe next week.
Soundtracks are always a big part
Yes,
of Record
come on.
Store Day, and we got some good ones right here. So this is one of the rarest records in the world. People all the time ask for this record forever. It is the Harold and Maude soundtrack.
Was it
Cat
just out of
Stevens.
print?
It was released in a very limited, not intentionally limited. They just put it out. In Europe, it went out of print. The film wasn't that big of a deal. Highly sought after. The soundtrack goes for $300, $500, $700
Right.
a piece. Finally available. Great music. Cool film. If you haven't seen the film,
And he was still Cat Stevens.
he was
It
still
not
Cat Stevens.
Yusuf
Oh, he
Islam by
was
then, right?
barely Cat Stevens. It's so early
Yeah.
in his career. So that is a big deal. I think that's another one that's going to sell.
I
out
saw
quickly.
a live concert the other night on YouTube. I was just clicking around and he popped up. And that's obviously it's probably within the last 5 or 10 years and stuff. And still, his voice is still amazing.
Is it the acoustic one where he's playing on the soundstage with the other guitar?
Yeah.
That is terrific.
It's incredible.
Like I've
His voice.
Voice was
And the
perfect.
guitar is perfect. It's just beautiful.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Well engineered, it just with those two guitars. It sounded terrific.
Yeah.
It made me remember. It's like, oh yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
Another soundtrack that has never been on vinyl, and I love this film. This is on a limited edition
Yeah.
orange vinyl, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet.
And music
Oh, yeah.
produced by Jim Bryan, who epic producer, who
Right.
contributed with a lot of people. Texans Polyphonic Spree probably have the best known vocal tracks on there.
Don Nelson.
And this is music from a film. This music really creates the mood.
Yeah, for sure. ELO. Yeah, man. And this was, I think for Carrey, this was his first outside of the box kind of film, right? And people were like, "Oh, what's that going to be like?" It's Jim Carrey,
Yeah. And he did it, and he was great.
Yeah.
And
Super cool.
And he's continued to move outside the box.
And he
since
has,
then.
yeah. I saw a thing he did in his studio with a lot of the paintings he does. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I think
You know,
so
it's
too.
not like, oh, you're a painter.
His
but it's-
episode of comedians
In cars.
getting coffee
Yeah.
is terrific.
That was fantastic too, yeah. He jumps over the fence
It's so he's
because he can like be that Jim Carrey real quickly. Yeah.
just jump into so
Yes,
we
sir.
were talking last week about a staff pick
Mm-hmm.
for these things.
Yeah.
This is the staff pick. It is the Aliens soundtrack. This
Yeah.
is a
One of the
kind of-
greatest sequels ever.
no doubt.
Yeah.
And it really hard to find soundtrack. This one is pressed on green, acid blood, yellow green.
Sure. It'll burn through your turntable when you put it on the, but then it just sizzles and drops down the level.
Yeah, we're gonna have everybody sign waivers.
Right. So, music composed, conducted by James Horner, performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. There you go. Great movie.
I think honestly, this is one where people are buying it just to get the acid green, yellow.
Yeah,
vinyl.
man.
That's what they want.
So good, though. Please don't care. That's interesting. Okay, more on that later. All right, cool.
All right. The last record, there's always some kooky, crazy records released for Record Store Day,
Okay.
and that we have to throw a lot on because they're so cool and different. This is the Thai Elephant Orchestra, produced by Dave Soldier and Richard Lair. And if you're curious what this might be,
And I am.
they gave elephants a bunch of specially designed instruments and let them improvise the music on this record. And here, I'm going to just move in for the close-up. Here are the elephants ready to play some percussion instruments and
Jeez.
I mean, it's as kooky as it gets. We have a couple employees that are big fans of this record. I'm looking forward to hearing it, but
Well, Alice on the chat here says she's going to have to get a record player. I don't know if that's the album that's motivating her, but yeah, and you've got a few. A couple came in, right? You need a turntable.
Oh yeah, we got turntables.
That is crazy.
And
Jen and V says save us a copy, although I don't know about which one, but we'll see. It's Record Store Day. There's no saving.
I'll save you the elephant.
Yeah, that one
'Cause
may
you
not
need
sell
that.
out.
You need
That one may. Was that our last one?
That I had to end with it.
Okay,
because I
all
love
right. There you go.
elephants.
All right, guys, you know the drill. You know how this works. We would tell you the episode number you've just watched, but we don't remember it. It's probably 8 or 9. I don't
I
know.
know it's either 8 or 9. I feel like the last one was 7.
So we talked about probably doing an episode of all staff picks.
Yeah.
So we'll let you guys know what's coming up. And if you're not following them on Instagram, the staff does a great job of posting what they're listening to, what's hot right now, what they like, and it's always a deep dive into something cool. You won't be disappointed. Quinn, how do they find you on the socials and the webs and all that?
Well, everything you can link to from cactusmusictx.com. We're on everything. All our socials are out there. Record Store Day this Saturday.
Yeah.
10 a.m. we open.
And if you're in the greater Houston metropolitan area, drop in. Or if you're not, plan to take a trip.
And if you look at our Instagram, all the specifics and everything you need to know about Record Store Day is on.
There you go. All right. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Quinn, knocked it out of the park again, guys.
It's fun.
Our producer, Hobby, tells us it was episode 8. So thanks for being there, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.